When you say social enterprise, are we talking about sort of some of the steps that the companies like BlackRock and others are taking when it comes to issues like, Joe, close your ears, climate change, guns? But is that what we're talking about here?
I think it is totally multidimensional. There's a lot of different aspects. We have 62% millennial workforce. Social enterprise is so important to them, from well-being to some of the things you just talked about across the life cycle of our employees.
How much of this is being driven by the millennial employee base, meaning companies want to do this because they think this is what their employees want and how they want to attract new people, versus what the consumer wants?
I think it's both. There's this relentless focus on what the consumer wants. That's why digital and transformation is so important. But I think people are stepping back and they're looking at human capital and looking at the human capital balance sheet as importantly as their financial balance sheet.
So there's stuff that, for example, I can understand, okay, let's say a company's going to say, we provide daycare. You know, that's one of our, are we talking about perks that kind of help the lifestyle? Or are you talking about having a social agenda?
I think it's a purpose-driven agenda. So we all know millennials and now the digital natives, the Gen Z, or what I heard referred to as Gen D the other day, digital native. They're all looking for purpose-driven, civic-minded, socially responsible companies who are actually, again, investing in them as they do their R&D or innovation.
But I think the reason why I divided it between the employee base and the consumer base is the employee base issue to me is clear. If you're trying to hire millennials and they have this mission, purpose driven life that they want to pursue. Right. The consumer side's harder because, as Joe and I have debated constantly, there is a very broad spectrum of people out there that have lots of different ideas about the way companies should behave and who they want to buy from because of that behavior.
Even if 70% of them are on the left or whatever, there's still 30% who are going to feel different. It just feels like it's pushing companies to choose sides.
Yeah, but in the end,
it's making the tribalism that we wake up to in this country every morning, it's just making it worse.
But in the end, companies are focused on sustained economic growth. They're looking at policies, tax reform, regulatory reform, hopefully infrastructure, immigration reform, things like that to drive that growth. They're really looking, again, for what is the next generation technology that's going to disrupt.
You think they should weigh in on pro-choice versus pro-life?
I think they have to.
Would you do that?
I think you have to look at your talent platform and determine what the interesting things are around your talent. I think if you have a voice on every issue, you lose your voice. I think you have to pick your spots, and whether it's sexual harassment, Me Too movement, whether it's other things that you want to pick your spots around, I think that's what is the most important.
It's a longer conversation, but we
Much
appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Andrew.
Can you find the report on the website?
Yes, okay. Yes. Our human capital trend report. Some interesting things about the robot apocalypse. OECD came out yesterday and actually had an optimistic report. Right. So yes, you can find that.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.